Math, 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 math. Oh, welcome back, first grade. If you are either in Miss Benny's class or Miss Kelly's class, then you're in the right spot because it's time for math. Let's get right into the materials that we will be needing for today. Just like we've been using every single day, make sure you have a piece of paper, pencil, and your brain. If you need to pause the video to grab those materials, go ahead and do so right now. Hit play when you're ready. Great job. Now that you have your materials, first grade, it's time to get into our application problem. All right, friends, are you ready? Okay, make sure you draw a picture with labels, you write a number sentence with labels, and you complete a nice statement. All right, friends, if you need Miss Benny to repeat the problem to you again, you can rewind the video so that you can hear me say it again. All right, friends, listening ears on. There were 18 coats on the rack. 7 students took their coats to go outside. How many coats were still on the rack? Coats are still on the rack. All right, first grade, pick those pencils up. When you're finished with your problem, you can hit that play button again. Right now is a great time. Hit pause. All right, good luck, friends. Whew, great job, first grade. If you hit play, that means you're all finished with your problem. If you're not, like I said, hit pause button because we don't want you to play until you're all finished. All right, friends, let's get started into our problem. All right, we know our story was about, coats. You already know. Now, there were 18 coats on a rack at school, but then something happened to those coats. Well, some students went and took those coats because they wanted to go outside to play. We're trying to figure out how many coats are still on the rack. Do you all think you can help me figure that out? Okay. Well, we know how many coats were on the rack. There were no more than 18 coats on the rack. So I know that 18, that's our whole. I'm going to write that right into our number bond, 18. I'm also going to write C as a label to stand for coats because I know that's how many coats we had in all. But then something happened to those coats. Well, what happened to those coats? Oh yeah, 7 students took their coats to go outside. Well, because we know how many students took those coats and went outside, we are going to use the label T for took because they took them and they went outside. Well, we know that 7 of those students took those coats and went outside. Well, I'm going to pause right here because before we go any further, because I know that 7 students took their coats off of that rack, that means that our number is not going to get bigger. Our number is going to get smaller. If they took those coats off, then that means that they're not going to be there anymore. That's less coats on the rack. So I know that today we are going to probably be using subtraction because our number is getting smaller. Now, we want to figure out how many coats are still on the rack. So I'm going to use the label R to stand for rack. All right, first grade. I have that number bond. That number bond helps me get my problem set up so well. Now we're going to get right into our tape diagram. Do we know our whole? Yeah, we know that we have 18 coats. So we're going to count 18 coats out. Can you all count with me? All right, friends, count with me. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Whew, thanks for helping me count. 18 is all of the coats that we had. So in our tape diagram, we're going to write that we had 18 C coats. Notice we have our number and we have our label. Well, we know that 7 students took their coats outside. So I'm going to color in 7 of these and label it. Can you count with me? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We know that 7 students took their coats and went outside. I put my number and I also put my label. Now, the last thing we need to figure out is how many coats are still on the R rack. I'm already putting my mystery box and label because all I need to do now is count up to see how many coats are still on the rack. Can you count with me? Loud and proud, I want to hear you all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many coats are still on the rack? 11. So I'm going to write that right into my mystery box. Because we talked about earlier our number getting smaller because people took coats away, I'm going to start by writing my number sentence. There were 18 coats on the rack. 7 students took them to go outside, and 11 were left on the rack. It's super important, friends, to add your labels because you can tell your story just based off of your labels. I don't even have to look at my story, and I can tell you the story. There were 18 coats on the rack. 7 students took them outside, and now there are still 11 on the rack. Whew. I'm also going to add my 11 into that number bond, and the very last thing I need to do is complete my statement. There were 11 coats still on the rack. Whew. That was a lot of hard work, first grade. Now is a great time to pause the video, check your work with mine, and once you're all finished, go ahead and hit play so that I know that you're ready to go. Great job on your application problem, first grade. We're going to get right into our learning for today. Today, you guys are going to be able to add and subtract multiples or groups of 10 from 10 by using the say 10 way and the regular way. You guys have learned a little bit about the say 10 way and the regular way, so we're just going to get a couple more examples of that for today. All right, friends, are you ready to get started into your learning? All right, let's get started. All right, first grade. I have a picture up on the screen that I want you guys to take a look at up there. There are some fingers that are up here. We're going to look at the fingers that we have here and the fingers that we have here. I want you to think, how many fingers are there? How many fingers do you all see right here? 4. Great job. And how many fingers do you see over here? 3. Good job. We have 4 fingers plus 3 fingers. I can write that in a number sentence down below. I know that if I have 4 plus 3, that gives me 7. I can also show that in a number bond that I have right here. I had 4 fingers plus my 3 fingers equals 7 fingers. I also put that number bond to help me show and represent my work. Now, I want you to pause for a minute. I want you to pretend for a second that instead of fingers, we had bananas. Let's take a look at what that might look like. Whew. All right, first grade. We're taking a look. I said let's pretend that instead of fingers, we have bananas. So how many bananas are there? How many bananas do you see over here? 3 bananas. And how many bananas do you see over here? 4 bananas. Wait, I can also write that in a number sentence, and I can also write that using a number bond. Let's take a look and see what that's going to look like. I have up here, friends, on the screen, 4 bananas plus 3 bananas equals 7 bananas. I can also write that into my number bond over here. I have 7 bananas, 4 bananas, and 3 bananas. All of them are using the same numbers. Now, I want us to try something one more time. Do you think we can try it one more time? Okay. This time, first grade, instead of bananas, I'm going to show you something different. I'm going to show you, instead of fingers and instead of bananas, I'm going to show you groups of 10. Whenever we have our hands grouped together like this, that is a group of 10. So this time, I'm going to show you hands clasped together, which are groups of 10, and I want you to see if you can figure out what we have in our picture and our number sentence and our number bond. Let's take a look. Okay, first grade, I want you to figure out how many 10s there are. Let's see. 1 10, 2 10, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s, 6 10s, 7 10s. In all, we have 7 10s. How many 10s do we have up here? 1 10, 2 10, 3 10s, 4 10s. So up here we have 4 10s. What about down here? 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s. Well, down here we have 3 10s. I know that 4 10s plus 3 10s equals 7 10s. I'm going to show you what that's going to look like in our number sentence and our number bond. Let's take a look. Okay, first grade, let's take a look at what that number sentence and number bond will look like using our 10s. We have 4 10s plus 3 10s equals 7 10s. In our number bond, we also wrote that 7 10s, 4 10s, and 3 10s. This is called the say 10 way. We call it the say 10 way because we're telling how many 10s that we have. So, just like in our picture up here, we have 4 10s, which is why in my number sentence I started with 4 10s. Just like in my picture, I have 3 10s, so I added 3 10s. If I put 4 10s and 3 10s together, I get 7 10s. Because Miss Finney's using, see how I put the 10s right here? Because I'm using the word 10s, that makes it the say 10 way. What's this way called? Yeah, it's called the say 10 way. Let's hear it together. Ready? Say 10 way. Whenever you guys are doing practice today, you might hear Miss Finney say, ooh, try it the say 10 way, and that means I want you to tell me how many 10s you see in your picture. Are you all ready to try it the regular way? All right, let's see how that's going to look. Okay, first grade, I'm going to show you what I mean by the regular way. When we do the regular way, I'm still going to use the same picture because it's still going to work for the regular way. The first time when we did the say 10 way, we said 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s. This time, we're going to count those 10s up. So the regular way, I'm going to say 10, 20, 30, 40. So how many do I have at the top? 40. Let's check the bottom. 10, 20, 30. How many do I have at the bottom? 30. I have 40 plus 30. Let's take a look to see what those number sentences will look like. All right, let's take a look to see what this regular way is going to look like. I have 40 plus my 30, and that makes 70. I can double check by saying 40, 50, 60, 70. I have 70 altogether. This is called the regular way. What's this called? The regular way. Today we will be practicing with the say 10 way and the regular way. Let's take a look at both of them side by side to see what we notice. Whew. We have both the regular way and the say 10 way both on our screen. I want you to take a look at both of them, and I want you to think about what you notice about both of these ways to help us solve our problems. We have the say 10 way, and then we also have the regular way. What do you notice about both of these problems? How is it the same? How does it differ? Are there patterns? Is there anything that can help you? What do you notice? Is there one that's better? What do you notice? Oh my goodness. When you're ready, let me know by hitting that play button so that you can share with me what you notice about the regular way and what you notice about the say 10 way. All right, let's take a look. All right, friends. Now, you guys just had a chance to think about the regular way and the say 10 way. Can you all tell me, what are some things that you notice? Okay. One more. Oh, so I heard some of you say that you notice that both of them have the numbers 4, 3, and 7. Huh, I wonder, how can knowing 4 plus 3 equals 7, how can knowing that help us solve 4 tens plus 3 tens? And how can that help us solve 40 plus 30? Oh, so I heard some friends say that for the say 10 way, the only difference is that we're adding the word tens after our number. And I heard another friend say that for the regular way, you're just adding a 0 after the number. Whoa. So if we know 4 plus 3, then we know 40 plus 30? That's going to help us so much when we do our practice today, friends. Let's take a look at another one. And this time, you're going to get a piece of paper and pencil out because you're going to solve using the say 10 way and the regular way. I'd love to see both of you use the say 10 and regular way. When you all do your practice for today, I want to see that you have a number sentence and you have a number bond. Are you ready to get into our practice problem? Okay. Okay, first grade. Down below, Miss Minnie gave you all a picture so that we can see how we can use the say 10 way and regular way. I'm going to help you start out by helping you count up how many cubes we have in our picture. Let's go ahead and on your own, I want you to count up how many cubes do you have all together, even the ones that you have crossed out. Count all of them up. There's 1 10, 2 10. You keep going by yourself. Great job. Now, I want you to count how many tens did we get rid of or subtract. All right. Once you have all those numbers, I want you to fill them out. We're going to do the say 10 way first. Go ahead and start with that say 10 way. When you're finished with your work, go ahead and hit that play button so that I know that you're ready. Right now is a great time to hit that pause button. Go ahead and start that say 10 way, and then we'll bring it right back so that we can see if you are correct. Okay, first grade, let's go over the say 10 way. I'm going to go back to this picture that we have down here. We have 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s, 6 10s, 7 10s, 8 10s, 9 10s. We started with 9 10s, so I'm going to put that into my number sentence. Then we crossed off or took some tens away. We took away 1 10, 2 10s, and 3 10s. So I subtracted 3 10s. I had 9 10s, and I took 3 10s away. Let's see how many that we're left with. 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s, 6 10s. I'm left with 6 10s. You can see in my number sentence up here that I have 9 10s minus 3 10s equals 6 10s. In my number bond, I also filled in my numbers. I started with my whole, which was 9 10s. I took away my 3 10s, and I'm left with 6 10s. All right, first grade. If you need to fix some of your work so that your work matches my say 10 way, now is a great time to hit that pause button. When you're all ready to go ahead and hit that play button so that we can start the regular way. Okay, first grade, you're still going to use the same picture that you have down here to help you figure out how you can solve using the regular way. I will leave the screen up so that you guys can give it a try and practice on your own. All right, friends, go ahead and get started. Hit pause and hit that play button once you're all finished. Good luck. Okay, first grade, now we're going to go over the regular way. For the regular way, that's when we're just using the numbers and the values of those numbers. So instead of saying 1 10, we're going to say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I started with 90 cubes, and I took some away. I took away 10, 20, 30. I took 30 of those cubes away. Now I'm left with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm left with 60 cubes. Whew, look at that regular way. Now I can fill out that number bond. I had 90 cubes.
Took 30 away, and I'm left with 60. Now, I'm going to cover up the picture for just a moment. That way you can take a look at both of the number sentences and the number bonds side by side. I want you to think about what you notice and what helped you count those up. Okay, take a look at your number sentences for the say 10 way and the regular way. What do you notice about the two? Ooh, I just heard you say that you notice that they both have the same three numbers. They have the number 9, 3, and 6. The only difference is that for the say 10 way, we used tens as our unit, and for the regular way, we just added a 0 behind that number. That's a really cool thing to notice because that will help you solve that problem so fast. It's helpful to know what 9 minus 3 is, because if you know what 9 minus 3 is, that's going to help you solve and know how to solve 90 minus 30. Today, friends, for your problem set, you all will get a chance to either use the say 10 way or the regular way. Are you ready to see your problem set? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, first grade, here's your problem set for today. On page 1, it says to complete the number bonds and number sentences to match the picture. Up at the top up here, if you match my cursor, you can use the say 10 way, and then you also have the regular way on the bottom. Same with here, you have the say 10 way, and you can use the regular way on this line down here. For your number bond, you're going to show it using the regular way. So just like this one up at the top if you need an example. If you need to go back in the video so that you can review that say 10 way or the regular way just to get more examples, go ahead and do so. Also on this other page over here, it says fill in the missing numbers. So this is just helping with your fluency of knowing how quickly you can solve some of those problems. You all did such an amazing job today. Go ahead and pick a couple problems to solve. Make sure that when you're finished, you take a picture of your work and send it to your homeroom teacher. So either myself, Miss Finney, or you send it to Miss Kelly. Again, you can send it on Remind, you can send it through email, and you can also send it on Seesaw. Friends, you did such an amazing job. I can't wait to see your work. Bye.